This rhinoceros-like strong man's life is hanging by a thread because this is a strange world. He went out for a morning run and was unexpectedly kidnapped by a group of mysterious people. The rhinoceros monster was then thrown into an octagonal cage, and his opponent was a fierce, menacing crocodile man. A fight is about to break out, and only the victor can survive. The lion referee made a gesture, and the crocodile man immediately had a grim expression. He raised his long sword and thrust it toward the rhinoceros monster lying on the ground. As night fell, an old man was calling for his dog outside his door, but suddenly there was movement in the bushes nearby. Then, a monster delivered a fatal strike. The monster picked up some beef from the ground and began to devour it. Just then, the sound of hooves was heard outside the door. The monster, frightened, dropped the food and ran away. Unfortunately, he didn't get far before he was tripped by a group of horse-riding hunters and fell, his feet trapped tightly. The hunters worked in unison, and the monster could only surrender. The next morning, Nick and Hansen rushed to the scene. They saw the two elderly people were covered in wounds, as if they had been torn apart by some wild beast. Nothing seemed to have been stolen, so robbery and murder could be ruled out. They found a fingerprint on a piece of steak on the ground. Moreover, there were horse tracks at the door, but the elderly couple didn't have any horses. They followed the tracks and discovered some dragging marks. Not far away, there was a piece of a broken saddle back at the police station. A check on the fingerprint led to the identification of its owner, a guy named Demi, who had just been paroled last month, so they went to find Dimas parole officer, Leo. Upon hearing that Demi was involved, Leo was confused, as Demi had behaved well in prison and had been working at his uncle's gym after his release, appearing to have turned his life around. After leaving Leo, they headed straight to the gym. The uncle said Demi hadn't come to work for a while. Although he didn't know where Demi had gone, the uncle confidently promised that Demi was a good kid. Nick turned to look for Brian, only to make a shocking discovery. Brian was actually that rhinoceros monster.